Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So despite being the best Osu player the game has ever seen, ready to rival Emrek any day now, a little pipe dream of mine has always been becoming good at Taiko. There's just something about this game mode that looks so compelling to me, so much so that back in 2016 I actually did play a bit, but quickly lost interest to chase my Osu standard dreams. Fast forward 6 years, so last summer, all my Osu goals had been achieved. I decided to take a massive break from Osu Standard to try and play Taiko for real. This is my 1 year of Osu Taiko improvement. Enjoy. By the way, I have a ton of shadowplay footage, but because I don't play in full screen and the resolution looked weird, I went out of my way to re-record everything just for you guys. So I better see at least 1,000 likes on this video. Do it now. Thank you. So I spent the first month just remembering how to read. It's a bit difficult cause horizontal scrolling is much more straining on the eyes compared to Mania for example, but I eventually got the hang of it. There are many key layouts and playstyles in Taiko. Back in 2016 I used to play KKDD, where you hit red and blue notes or dons and kas with both fingers on 2 separate hands. Since I wanted to start off fresh, I switched to KDDK, the more traditional playstyle where your inputs actually match the ones in your Osu skin. I was really bad as you can see, but after a month of perfecting the basics, I was able to achieve my first 100 PP play on a Futsu map. But what is a Futsu map, you may ask? Well, Kantan and Futsu are the equivalent of easy and normal in standard. Very basic maps, great for beginners to get started. Muzukashi is hard, and Oni or Insane is where the game really opens up and a lot of different patterns come into play. Of course there's also Inner Oni, Ura Oni, Hell Oni, basically way harder maps with much more complex patterns. I quickly got into Muzukashi and I don't know if you can see this, but my playstyle was a bit weird. I essentially single tapped with both hands, always starting triples with my right hand. It's not necessarily a bad thing, in the end every playstyle is viable, but I thought it was a bit inconsistent, so I spoke to a couple people, namely Deku and Lemonduck, thank you fellas, and they introduced me to a bunch of playstyles to choose from. I switched to KDDK single tap, a very popular playstyle where you single tap everything with your dominant hand and use it to start triples etc. Very good for consistency and accuracy. Despite being pretty good at KDDK single tap, I read a lot of discussion from Taiko players in the Osu forums talking about the benefits of alternating early on. For those of you that don't know, alternating is a very useful skill in Taiko because it allows you to save stamina, but also ease your way into more complex patterns the more you progress. Since I was so early in my Taiko journey, I thought, you know what, let's go for it. As you can likely tell, it was a struggle, but after weeks of tryharding I pulled off my first full Alt FC. As much as I liked Muzukashi, it was time for me to move on. The jump from Muzukashi to Oni is a pretty significant one. You get introduced to a ton of new, harder patterns, and it's very hard to build up muscle memory, especially when alternating. It took me a couple weeks, but I finally FC'd my first 4-star map and Oni diff. Though I will admit it's a bit overrated. Oh well. As time went on and I was getting higher PP plays, I really wanted to break the 200 PP barrier. There were a couple candidates, but it all came together when I discovered the beauty of long map farming. My method was pretty simple. I would play maps in my skill range or slightly above, while simultaneously pushing myself going for passes on harder maps. This allowed me to keep my consistency in check while also learning harder patterns. This led to some interesting scores, but then there was a switch. Now I know what you're thinking, Spaza, what the hell is that? Well, right around the beginning of March I started playing Taiko no Tatsujin on a drum controller. I made a whole video about that, which I recommend you go watch after this. But in order to improve my reading in Taiko no Tatsujin, I started playing Osu Taiko like this. And it may look silly, but it's actually quite fun. Other than the obvious flashy skin, I made a couple more changes to my gameplay. First of all, I made my hit sounds way quieter, which helped for some reason, and then switched from full alt to semi-alt, an hybrid playstyle where you alternate everything but start more complex patterns with your dominant hand. I saw many Taiko no Tatsujin players using this playstyle, and it felt so much better to play that way. All of these changes led to April 20th, 2023. My biggest pop-off, a lot of PP, as well as my first ever 5-star FC. When I first switched back to a more minimalistic skin, it was quite jarring cause I had gotten used to all the chaos. Even then, the reading benefits were so huge I was setting scores left and right, and there was only one more thing I had to do: break the 300 pp barrier. For the record, I could have done it on Try Again, ridiculous farm map, but it would have been so underwhelming I decided to push myself instead. My score on Waldschrein is one I remember dearly, not only cause I think the song is a banger, but because this play just came out of nowhere and completely shocked me. My best run was like 300 combo or something, so to get this close to 300 pp with 15 misses was very cool at the time. Ah, come and get it, my very first 6-star pass. I knew I could do much better on it on a good tapping day, so combine that with the livestream buff and my god, the magic is ours. Oh! Yes! Oh, baby! Okay. From this point onward, I was busy with real life stuff, so I started playing way less. Most of my sessions were spent just pushing myself with harder maps, and it was a lot of fun. I ended up setting a couple more 300s, and that's really about all there is to it. Maybe. Yep, on July 8th, 2023, exactly 1 year after my remarkable C rank on Din Don Dan Futsu, I nearly achieved a 400 PP play on Come and Get It. Now I will admit this map is a bit inflated, but still, it's funny cause I had more than 99% towards the end, but I got way too nervous and dropped the ball. And that is my 1 year of Osu Taiko improvement. At the time of setting that play, I was rank 4200 with 5700 PP. Not that I'm a huge numbers guy, but since I knew I was gonna make this video, there's your stats. To be honest with you, I still suck. I'm a beginner of course, can't really do hard patterns, I have a billion A ranks compared to FCs, but whatever man, I'm really happy with my journey so far, and I'm excited to continue playing in the future. Throughout the years, I've seen many Osu players who just force themselves to play even if they clearly don't enjoy the game anymore. The underlying message of this video is, it's cool to step outside your comfort zone and try something new. And I'm not necessarily talking about Taiko by the way. Maybe you have that one thing you've been wanting to do for a very long time. I say just try and see what happens. Who knows where you may be a year from now. I wanna thank Lemonduck, Deku and Ikkun for helping me out early on, and a big shoutout to the Scripty Cringe, whose video inspired me to make my own. Though I'm sorry to say, I'm nowhere near as good as you were 1 year in. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, it really helps the YouTube reach. Leave a comment down below to let me know your thoughts, and for more content like this, feel free to subscribe. Also, please invite me to more Taiko servers, I need more maps and advice. My Discord DMs are open. That's it really. Have a good one guys.